Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you follow me or if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I do all things DIY. Now, the most important part of any DIY project is the finish. The awesome folks at Wagner gifted me the Flexio 5000 to try out, and today I'm going to take you on the journey with me of using this paint sprayer for the very first time. Once you open the container, you're going to find two nozzles and two containers. One is for a broader finish for indoor or outdoor surfaces, and the other, with the blue nozzle, is for a detail finish, which is what we're going to be using today. One of the things I love about this paint sprayer is that you can just package all of the pieces together and store it really easily. Once you unwrap the cord for the plug, there's a little cutout in the back that you can stick it in so that you can close the lid as you're spraying so nothing on the inside will get any overspray on it or anything like that. So I will say, like most things, this paint sprayer does come with an instruction manual, which I did not look at all. I was way too excited to get started on this project and use this paint sprayer for the first time, so I kind of just went with the flow and tried to figure it out as I went. As you can see, it's fairly simple to put together and very beginner friendly. To attach the nozzle and container to the handheld tube, it's fairly easy. You just twist it in place and make sure it snaps into place as you can see here. When using the detail finish nozzle, it's ideal to thin your paint. It's not always necessary, but it may be necessary in some cases. I used 400 milliliters of paint, which meant that for my particular paint, I thinned it with 10% water. Make sure you know what type of solvent should be used when thinning your particular paint. Now, as you can see here, I've mixed up the paint, and one of the things that I didn't do, which I recommend you do, is to strain your paint. As you can see here, there are some chunks in there which could clog your paint sprayer, so make sure to not skip this step. Once you have your paint properly thinned and strained, it's time to put everything back together again and get started on painting your project. Now, as you can see here in a few moments, I'm going to show you a little nozzle on the trigger that will help you adjust the flow to either be more or less. This totally depends on your paint, and I recommend you play around with this and do a couple test shots before you start spraying your actual project. There are two power buttons on this paint sprayer. One is on the main box and the other one is on the handheld. Now, I know I said I didn't read the instructions, but I did go back to get this little infographic to show you how you should position yourself when using this paint sprayer. All right, let's get to painting. So I want to say up front that this video is in real time. I wanted to show you how long it would take and what it actually looks like painting a project like this with this paint sprayer. When I initially started with this bedside table, I was moving fairly quickly and I realized that I wasn't getting as much coverage as I wanted, so I just slowed down. Once I found the right rhythm, everything started to go fairly quickly and the coverage was immaculate. Like that diagram showed earlier, I made sure to keep my paint sprayer straight and also a few inches away from my project. Now, it didn't always work out like that for each side, but I did my best. And as you can see, the finish just went on so effortlessly, and it only took a few minutes to finish one of these bedside tables. I didn't get a great shot of it, but you can also turn the nozzle to change the spray pattern from horizontal to vertical. Now I'm going to warn you, I'm going to have a very embarrassing stance right here, but please don't laugh at me. I'm doing this for educational purposes. Now for the part that I hate most with any painting project, which is the cleanup. Everything is pretty easy to take apart, and again, I will admit I didn't read the instructions, and the instructions do have a proper way of cleaning this paint sprayer, which I obviously didn't do, but this is how I did it. Essentially, I took everything apart, I emptied out the container of leftover paint into another container and just started cleaning it out with the little brush that was provided with the paint sprayer. Once I cleaned everything out, I filled it halfway with water and a quarter way with mineral spirits. I attached everything back together and I just used the paint sprayer as normal into a waste container. I did this once and the paint sprayer was absolutely clean. This was one of the easiest cleanups I think I have ever had after a painting project. And that's it, we're all done. Spraying these bedside tables only took me a few minutes, and like you saw earlier, it only took about 10 to 15 minutes to clean up the entire machine. Overall, this paint sprayer was really easy to use. I still consider myself a beginner, and like I said earlier, I didn't read the instructions, but it was really easy to put together and use and clean up. So I would definitely recommend this to beginners. I would recommend it to people who maybe don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a paint sprayer. And I will say this is one of the little things I appreciated about this packaging is that it did have an image on how to put the tubing away, which I didn't realize, and it already took me a few minutes trying and failing. So I'm glad I found that image and I was able to package everything up nice and neat and put it away. Stay tuned until the end of the video to see how the bedside tables turned out, and hit that subscribe button because I will be uploading a video shortly on the full makeover process for these bedside tables. You won't want to miss it. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks again. Bye, everyone.